Let me ask you a question that might make you uncomfortable. When was the last time you worked all day, felt exhausted, went to bed tired, and still felt like you didn't actually move your life forward? Not that you were lazy, not that you didn't try, but that somehow, after all that effort, nothing really changed. Your inbox was full, your to-do list was checked, your brain was fried, but your bank account didn't move, your business didn't grow, and your future didn't get any clearer. This is one of the silent crises of our time. More people are working harder than ever, yet feeling more stuck than ever. In my view, this is one of the biggest psychological traps of modern work. Not because people don't want success, but because most people are grinding in a system that rewards motion, not progress. And today, we're going to expose exactly why. Why you feel busy, why you feel exhausted, why you feel behind, and most importantly, why all that effort isn't turning into real results. Because once you experience it, it gets very challenging to get right on track. And once you fix it, everything changes. Most people haven't realized that we are living inside what I call the productivity illusion. From the moment you wake up, the world is screaming at you to do more. More emails, more meetings, more notifications, more hustle, and more grind. Apps track your steps, phones track your time, managers track your output, social media tracks your engagement. But none of it tracks the one thing that actually matters: progress. From my point of view, most of us have confused activity with achievement. You can reply to 200 emails and still not build anything. You can attend 10 meetings and still not make a single real decision. You can work 14 hours a day and still be stuck in the same place next year. And this is not accidental. Modern systems are designed to make you busy, not effective. Corporations benefit when workers are constantly occupied. Platforms benefit when you are constantly engaged. Tools benefit when you're constantly interacting, but your life only improves when you are constantly creating leverage. There's a huge difference. Let's look at the numbers. A famous study by Rescue Time analyzed over 5.5 million workdays. The result was shocking. The average person was productive for only about 2 hours and 48 minutes per day. Not because people are lazy, but because most of their time is eaten by low-impact tasks such as emails, internal chats, admin, meetings, and status updates. Analysis from Rescue Time shows that 40% of knowledge workers now spend over 60% of their time on what researchers call work about work. Not real output, not creative production, not strategy, just maintenance. What this actually means is that most people are burning their best mental energy on things that don't move the needle. If you want the full details of this research, I have attached the link to the study in the description below. Moving forward, let's talk about how this problem leads into an economic trap. This problem gets more worse when you look at money. In theory, working harder should make you richer, but in reality, most people are stuck in what economists call linear income. You trade time for money. The moment you stop working, the money stops. So the only way to earn more is to work more. But here's the trap. There are only 24 hours in a day. So even if you double your effort, you will hit a wall. This is why so many people feel like they are running on a treadmill, a situation where you're moving fast, sweating and exhausted, but not actually going anywhere. Compare that to business owners or investors. They don't get paid for time. They get paid for systems. Jeff Bezos doesn't get richer because he works more hours. Amazon gets richer because millions of people use a system he owns. That's the difference between effort and leverage. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain loves being busy because busy feels productive. Checking things off a list releases dopamine. Answering messages gives you social validation. Completing small tasks gives you a sense of progress. But none of these mean you're actually building something. This is why procrastination often disguises itself as productivity. You're not scrolling, you're not watching Netflix, You're working, but you're working on things that don't matter. It feels responsible, it feels disciplined, but it's a trap. Let's talk about Kodak. For decades, Kodak was one of the most productive companies on Earth. They dominated film photography. They had massive factories, huge sales teams, global distribution. They were busy all the time. But while Kodak was optimizing film, the world was moving to digital. And even though Kodak invented the first digital camera, they ignored it because it didn't fit their existing workflow. They were productive at the wrong thing. This is one of the most dangerous forms of failure. Not laziness, not incompetence, but working very hard on something that no longer matters. There are two types of work: maintenance work and progress work. Maintenance keeps the system running. Progress changes the system. Maintenance is answering emails. Progress is designing a better business model. Maintenance is posting on social media. Progress is building a brand. Maintenance is serving customers. Progress is building a system that serves customers without you. Most people spend 90% of their time on maintenance and then wonder why nothing scales. This is why so many entrepreneurs burn out. They leave a job to escape the grind, but end up building a harder version of it. They become the marketer, the accountant, the support desk, and the CEO. They are working for themselves, but in reality, they built a job, not a business. And jobs don't scale, systems do. Every hour you spend on low-impact work has an invisible cost. It steals time from thinking. It steals time from planning. It steals time from building leverage. And thinking is where money is made. Warren Buffett famously said he spends most of his day reading and thinking, not because he's lazy, but because the quality of his decisions matters more than the quantity of his actions. Let's talk about the role schools play in all of these. Schools train you to follow instructions, to complete assignments, to hit deadlines. They reward obedience. They reward consistency. They reward output. They do not reward leverage. They do not reward system building. They do not reward long-term thinking. So most people grow up believing that effort equals success, while in the real world, alignment equals success. Leverage is when a small action produces a large result. Writing a book, creating software, building a brand, owning equity. These are things you do once and get paid repeatedly. The richest people in the world aren't the hardest workers. They're the best leverage builders. What this actually means is that your goal should not be to work harder. Your goal should be to work on things that keep working when you stop. That's the shift. From effort to leverage. From busyness to building. From motion to progress. So how do we fix this productivity issue? The first thing you should do is audit your time. Ask yourself, does this create leverage or does this only create activity? Secondly, schedule thinking time. Real thinking. No phone, no emails. Thirdly, build systems, even small ones. Build templates. Build automation and outsourcing. Finally, you must focus on assets. Focus on things that grow without your presence. Doing all these is very uncomfortable because building leverage feels slow at first. You get no instant feedback, no dopamine hits, no checklists. But over time, it compounds. Look at any great company, Apple, Google, Netflix. They didn't win by working harder than everyone else. They won by building systems that outperformed everyone else. Your life is no different. You are either building a system or trapped inside one. Judging from my years of work experience across different industries, I'm at the conclusion that one of the biggest mistakes of our generation is mistaking exhaustion for progress. You don't need to be more busy, you need to be more intentional. If this video changed how you see your work, hit the like button so more people can escape this trap. And if you want to understand how real wealth, real companies, and real systems are built, subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications because the next videos will go deeper into the strategies that actually create freedom. Because in the end, the goal isn't to work harder, it's to build something that works for you. Thank you for watching.